This is the last episode.
The guy will fix it.
The guy will fix it.
I know a guy.
Hey guys, I'm a guy.
Are you really?
Yeah.
In the sense of the word?
In all sense of the word. I love the squeak. Here, let's put the mic right to the squeak.
Kirby Squeak Squad. Is it supposed to do that, by the way?
I mean,
Squeak that bad? Like it's a mouse begging for the sweet embrace of death?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But it's old.
I just remembered that there was a mouse boy in my garage, and I hope he left or got eaten by a bird.
Or got eaten by another mouse.
Do mice eat each other?
No.
Wait, rats eat each other though, right?
Because
rats are more aggressive.
I don't think they eat each. I don't think rats eat each
Or
other.
at least attack each other, right?
They'll
like they hurt each other.
Well, rats are like dogs.
Are they like in terms of like the way they behave?
Yeah, baby rats are called pups.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about all I know about rats is from the special feature short film they put in the Ratatouille DVD, where it was a 10-minute like 2D animated short where they talked about the history of rats.
That's awesome.
About how like the brown rats stopped the Black Plague and all kinds of weird shit, like how they can chew through like solid steel, and how like the misconception of like a rat can show up in your bathroom is actually totally real. You know, like they can show up in your toilet. That whole thing, it's totally possible.
Oh yeah,
because they can fit through anything. They're like cats, where they can just fit through anything if their head can fit through.
Yep.
Which to me is that'd be a very interesting superpower for a human to have.
Rat man.
Who could forget dear old Rat Boy?
Okay, so yeah, no. What is it? John Piaget. He's the
Rat Boy.
Yes. No. Okay. God, my mic is not. All right. This is gonna be fun to fix and post. Whatever. No, John Piaget was a developmental psychologist who studied,
what was the thing that got him like his claim to fame?
He studied rats and found the play circuit. He found the play circuit in creatures and animals.
I don't know much about him.
He
turns out
he developed our like pretty much our current model of child development from birth to death.
He was the one who discovered things like how like the cognitive awareness of like an infant to like a toddler to kind of set up that idea.
Yeah, and he did a lot of that research with rats.
It was really funny. I was teaching like my younger sisters about like how babies, because there's a baby in my home like for visiting right now.
She's visiting.
Yeah, by herself. She came on the train.
She came out of town
and she crawled and went and they took her to my house.
She came from Michoacan.
And I do love how you can see psychological development happen with babies with the whole thing of like cognitive awareness of object permanence.
Yes.
Of I forget what age it's like. I think it's from like 6 months to like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's when it develops. Is if you show a baby an object, like just put it in their face and they are looking at it.
Yeah.
And then put it under a blanket or something, and to them it disappears from reality.
Yeah.
And that explains a lot why when babies are separated from their mothers, especially, they go bananas because they think their mom disappeared from reality forever and they're dead.
Yes.
So they just freak out. I'm like, oh, that's why babies are annoying to deal with. Because they think when things aren't there, they don't exist.
Yeah, it's that was stuff found by John Piaget. Also, you know what's something really... John Piaget is probably one of my favorite psychologists of all time. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons is because his fundamental motivation for working, pretty much, was to find the connection between religion and science.
And he ended up at Rats
and
developmental psychology.
Yeah,
wow.
It's very fascinating. Read about Piaget. He's very fascinating. Because he most people just know him from like the developmental stuff, but like his fun, like the thing he talked about most and cared about most was legitimately like the.
Did he do that after his rat stuff got big? Like he just went back to that?
No, like that was like his thing that you can read throughout all of his research.
Oh, like all his career was
a lot of it. Like there's like side stuff he writes about like his philosophy on what he's actually been doing in the sciences. It's very fascinating. Yeah, John Piaget was really cool.
All thanks to rats. People remember his name.
Yeah, he found out that rats can laugh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they laugh ultrasonically. If you can tickle them with an eraser, and if you slow it, you can record it and then slow it down. You can hear them laughing.
I don't know what to do with that information. I legitimately don't know because I don't enjoy rats or mice very much.
Oh, I enjoy rats a lot. In this,
purely... would you have one as a pet?
No.
Okay, and the second question: would you turn away if someone gave you like their pet rat or mouse and put it in your hand?
No.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
But if I see him, like if I see like a mouse or a rat or whatever, I go, that needs to die.
Yeah, fair.
I like, even if I catch it, like it has to die.
It's like that.
But I don't like that because I don't like to kill mammals because they're furry and I'm a mammal.
Well, it's the same feeling. The same feeling
thing.
people get with rats is the same feeling that you should get with Jews, according to Glorious Bastards.
Oh fuck yeah! I forgot about that bit. I was like, wait, okay, that yeah. Like I used to, you know how like squirrels are vermin.
Yes.
But unless they become vermin for you, they see them as that. Yeah, fuck squirrels.
Yeah.
I had squirrels I had a squirrel problem this summer in my backyard. There was like 8 of those motherfuckers in my backyard.
Yeah.
And we got traps for them. And it was fucked up because like the whole squirrel cage where we'd put food in it and they would get they get trapped, but they don't hurt themselves. They just get stuck in the cage.
Yeah.
So we would get the cage. We got 2 of them one time. We took the cage to like a place in the near trees. So okay, we'll release them. They refused to get out of the cage. Like they would hang onto the bars. It's like, no, I'm not getting out. So then they ended up dying due to stress in their cages. And that happened twice with 2 other ones.
That's insane.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck these squirrels.
Yeah.
We were nice. We showed mercy. Fuck squirrels.
I like
because I have a dog in my backyard.
Yeah.
I would have killed those things with my own bare hands if they got close to my dog. Because she's too old. She wouldn't fight back.
I was gonna say
she would die from the rabies.
Yeah.
I'd be very upset.
That would have sucked.
My bloodlust would know no bounds.
That would have been no good.
Because she's.
And you would have gone John Wick on those rats.
Yeah. Only on squirrels.
Squirrels, I mean.
I'd run around with a fucking 9mm hunting squirrels in my backyard.
Doing gun fu with the squirrels.
No, I do that scene in John Wick 2 where we're walking past each other in a hallway and I'm shooting from my hip while not looking at the squirrels. Just walking out in the forest.
I have no reference. I've never seen a second of John Wick.
That's the only scene I know from John Wick 2 is there's a scene where he's walking in like a crowded area with someone else, like they're across the way from each other, and they're shooting handguns at each other without looking at each other. Just trying not to get caught that they're having a gunfight.
Interesting.
It's fucking stupid.
Okay, guys, this is the last episode podcast. I'm
the Squirrelinator.
My name is Rat Boy.
Rat Boy, and I'm Squirrel Girl.
But that's a real one.
I beat Thanos in a comic, and it's canon.
Yes. Squirrel Girl is our savior for.
She actually is. She's
Thanos too.
She's top tier.
Yes.
Who the fuck are the characters?
We are getting a Squirrel Girl movie.
Yeah, which I don't know how I feel because I hated Squirrel Girl before her new comics. Got her really popular again.
We've talked about this. I don't know anything about Squirrel Girl.
Her power is that she's funny. I don't know.
But so is every other Marvel superhero post 95.
Because comics, LOL, am I right? Comics are meta.
Well, because in the 90s, Marvel and DC did a switch where it was DC became overly dark and Marvel became
we got Superman Doomsday and all
then
that.
Marvel
and
got
Flashpoint and all those really cool stories.
And then Marvel got Deadpool and then it just was over.
Yeah. At least Gwenpool's pretty cool. Those comics are pretty good. Well, the ones that I've read.
I think we mentioned this already. I want to talk about my experience with the video game that I've been playing relatively. I just realized I haven't done anything correct with this mic situation. I didn't do any EQ, pre-EQ or anything, or any compression recording or anything. It's just we're going in raw,
rugged and raw.
I'll do it in post. Malone.
No, you won't. You're not brave enough.
I'll do it inside
to climb that man mountain.
I'll do it inside of Post Malone.
Sit inside of his belly button and mix his audio in his studio.
Yeah, sure. I found out that Bare Bonds Bentley was mostly done in an apartment.
In his loft
and his
thing?
Engineers.
Yeah, he built his own little thingy. But yeah,
they recorded everything on an Apollo Twin, on a 2-channel interface like mine, which is insane.
A lot of rappers in early 2000s made their stuff off pirated Fruity Loops.
Yeah,
on or Garage Band.
Yeah,
on shitty mics.
Okay, so yeah, I've been playing a little video game called Hollow Knight.
It's about little boys.
It's about little boys.
Little bugs.
Which, I've had this game for. I got it. I think the day it came out
during when it was on E3.
Yeah, I believe I bought it then, and so I've been playing it technically since then, but I kind of got bored of it pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. How many hours did you say before you kind of just dropped it for other things?
Probably 3 or 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Not very long. I don't even know how much I have. I probably don't even have that much more now. Probably 8 or so, 8 or 10, somewhere around there. But that game is real good. I get it. I understand. I got drawn in yesterday, and I reached a point in the game where I was like, oh, this is good. I get it. I don't want to play anything else right now.
So before this game, how many of Metroidvania style games have you ever touched before?
Not many.
Have you beaten any, or maybe just touched one?
I've touched a lot, but I haven't finished any.
You played any Metroid games at all?
I think so.
Which ones do you think you played?
What was the one that was on? Is the SNES one?
Super Metroid.
Then I played that.
Did you beat it?
No,
How much of it did you play?
I don't remember. I was a child.
Oh, like was that long ago?
Yeah. I've definitely never beaten a Metroidvania game.
never
I've
played,
never
like-
played enough to like say I like this genre.
Like never played Fusion or any of those.
Nope.
Or...
I'm trying to think of it.
What about Castlevania? The ones that weren't just the 2D.
I think we talked about that last week. That I didn't really play much either.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Metroidvania games have been like every time I see.
You played Axiom Verge though.
Yeah, but I got bored.
I don't like Axiom Verge at all.
Yeah, it's not as good as Hollow Knight. I like the aesthetic a lot, and I like the music and the sound design and
Of
everything.
Axiom, or
Yeah, I like the way Axiom feels.
I think that Axiom was
terrifying.
made by like a guy. I think just
Yeah,
one
I think
guy
it
made
was.
that game.
Yeah, everything like the sound design, everything was made by just like
It's
one.
been like I
person.
think 5 years, something crazy to do it.
Yeah, it's insane.
He almost fezzed himself to death.
Yeah, not quite. Not.
He's still around. He's still gonna make games.
Yeah.
He didn't retire to do graphic design only like Phil Fish did.
Yeah, he didn't murder anyone like Phil Fish did.
Did he? Did he murder a Japanese developer after he said Japanese games are shit to their faces?
Pretty much.
I'll never forget that. The balls to do that while Japanese people are in the fucking audience.
Love
Like, yeah,
it.
Japanese games are just bad.
That's
He
so,
wasn't super like wrong. They were kind of not as relevant, but he said, no, they're just shit now.
so funny.
I'm like, holy shit, dude. Wow. The ego on this man.
I want Phil Fish and what's the No Man's Sky guy?
Oh, fuck.
I want them to like make something together.
But one was just like a liar, but charismatic about it. The other was just an insane guy who was really talented.
I wonder what game could come from those two minds, because they both have very cool ideas and they both made really cool things. Well, you know what I mean.
No Man's Sky is better,
No
but
Man's
also
Sky
it
is-
wasn't a one-man job. It was a whole team.
You're right.
Like Fez was like an insane passion project from a guy who's too talented for his own brain to
It's literally too good for his own good. Yeah.
because he didn't know what he wanted to be good at. So like, I'm just gonna do everything by myself.
Yeah.
And then he almost killed himself because of it.
I mean, the music was done by Disasterpiece, who did the soundtrack for It Follows.
Yeah, well, he did other games afterwards. Then he did It Follows. He's doing, I think, something else.
Disasterpiece?
Yeah, I think he's working on something else this year. I forget what.
I don't
But he's
know.
around now.
Yeah.
He did stuff like Fury like 2 years ago.
Good music. So yeah, where were they? Yeah, so like the idea of Metroidvania games have never been like super. I'm gonna take my headphones off because my ears hurt. Yeah, the idea of Metroidvania games have always been like daunting to me, because like I would start playing some, or I would see people play them and then like learn what they're about. And it's like, yeah, you move slightly forward and then you die and then you start from the beginning and you have to move out and farther out, and it's like, oh, that sounds terrible. Like the idea of just like having to like restart over and over again to like
Well,
as you explore.
Yeah, they're not quite that. That's more of a rogue like
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Things like Spelunky or Dead Cells is more of that, where it's more run based. But Metroid games generally weren't that, but some of them have kind of become that.
What's
in a
okay?
way.
You know what's funny? I think what actually would you count SteamWorld?
SteamWorld Dig? It's kind of Metroid.
It's like Metroidvania Light.
It's kind of like one of those.
Yeah, so I played the first one and beat it, and I've been waiting for the second one to go on sale and for me to have money at the same time.
Yeah, SteamWorld 2 Dig's real good game.
Yeah, 'cause the first one is awesome. I
Yeah,
played it.
but 2 is just more.
Yeah,
It's a
'cause
much.
the first one was very short. It was like 2 hours long. I
Yeah.
think. It was like-
SteamWorld games are always like they don't ever say they're welcome, but 2 is like a much bigger game.
but no, that's probably the first. I think that is the first Metroidvania game I beat.
Because it was short
the-
enough for you to keep your attention, and it wasn't like as punishing.
No, yeah, but that concept of just like
You have to feel your way around this world that
Well,
you can't see.
and like the more the more my character progresses, the more I can explore this world.
Yeah, which is
kind-
what I like about those games.
Kind of like Breath of the Wild, of just like
yes.
you get to. So I've been slowly training to get into Metroidvania with the Switch, with a lot of games that I've been playing.
Because you're more comfortable in a 3D space exploring.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
I never really like realized this until like the past year or two, where these games are coming out and getting
Uh-huh.
bigger again. Is that I really do think I kind of never noticed that exploring in a 2D space for some people is more intimidating
Yes, exactly.
because of what you see on your screen.
Yeah,
And
totally.
Hollow Knight,
That's-
from what I've looked at, it shows you a lot more than what I'm used to. Like a little bit more of the screen is shown than like
Yeah.
other like Super Metroid is really like they're meant to feel claustrophobic, but
Well,
Hollow
it's
Knight
nice
is really open.
Well, what's nice about Hollow Knight is
Compared
that
to
every
those.
section feels very distinct, and so you don't. I mean, it's hard to feel lost. So
Isn't it like color palette changes?
the color palette changes depending on the color palette changes, music changes, and like the actual layout of the areas are like each area feels different. Like
The way they do
they're-
platforms and
Yeah, and they're like there are some areas that are like, oh, there's acid here, and that's the thing. This is the
the
acid
idea of this
part.
place. This is the acid place.
And this part is the spike part, and
Mhm.
this is the like platform over caverns.
Are
part.
spikes insta death in Hollow Knight?
No, but you like
They bounce you?
Well, you get hurt and then like you die and then like respawn like right next to it and you lose 1 health. It's one of those where it's like, yeah. And so it's not instant death, but it's
more punishing.
Yeah, it's more punishing than just like, oh, I got hurt, I'll just keep going. It's one of the things like you really don't want to get hit with this because also I don't know how they coded this, but like depending on the area where there are spikes. So there's a lot of areas, especially once you start getting more movement abilities,
like the jumps and
mud jumps and wall slides and dashes and stuff, where it's like little like obstacle courses with the spikes. And if you get hit with one of the spikes in the middle of it, it'll start you from the beginning. And there's a lot of areas like that where it's really small, like
platforming challenges.
Yeah, small platforming that are really short. And
because movement in that game is okay, that's cool.
It codes you to where like if you get hit, you have to start from the beginning of that. And so stuff like that I really like.
Because I know in the game you drop your currency. So if you're doing one of those, does it drop back where you respawn, or does it drop where you died in that challenge?
No. That stuff is just literally, like I said, all it's doing is taking away 1 health.
One
little, because you have like 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah, it's not. You won't. It'll just not even let you instantly die to like other spikes. It'll just move it. Okay.
Yeah, the dying thing though, like the legit when you die in this game. So when I first started this game, I first opened it up and I was like, this music's awesome. The music is like. I remember watching a bunch of reviews on it before I got it because I watch reviews on everything before I buy. Anything that I spend my money on, I watch reviews on.
Yeah. Staying informed.
Yeah. The music. I remember everyone saying it's like, yeah, the music's amazing. And I never looked it up. Like, about any time like a review would show like a piece of music, they'd never show the like really good ones. They'd always show like just atmospheric, like, oh yeah, I get it. I like the feeling. I can see how this is gonna be moody. But then as soon as I started the game, I was like, oh, this music is like really good. There's some really, really good. It reminded me a lot of the feelings that I got when playing Fez, where it's the air, well, and a little bit, but like opposite of that. So like Fez had a lot of kind of wondrous not upbeat, but like wondrous. It made it almost like pleasant music, mostly. That I mean,
didn't the music change like to a different tone when you were like flipping worlds and stuff?
Yeah, the Fez music ended up becoming terrifying later in the game.
Yeah,
but it started. Most of the game is relatively pleasant, but but the music makes you want to explore.
Yeah, and it's a good reminiscent of like the 16-bit, 8-bit era of just like this is adventure music.
Yes, and Hollow Knight has the same thing, but the complete opposite feeling because Hollow
Knight
it's
more moody, right?
It's very moody and very like, oh, this world is sad. Like this world, like.
It's weird because I always hear that and I kind of understand that's the music, but when you look at the game how it's drawn, you don't really like see that
the
yet.
Aesthetic. It's funny because
I mean character wise, like environments are like really dark, but
no, I'm saying like
people look like cute little doodles, and I love it.
Yeah, character aesthetic and everything
it's like a cool
like that
juxtaposition
is very
of like the style and what its tone is going for.
Because I didn't really know what to expect when I bought the game, like because that's what I thought the same thing too. But once you play it and really start exploring and start reading about the world and what's happening. I'm not going to spoil too much of like.
I've heard like that's the best part about it is like learning what this world is about.
Yeah, why certain bugs are evil and certain bugs aren't. Like that's really.
I feel like the world has like history to it that I didn't expect.
One of my favorite things about the game when exploring is when you see a new character and not knowing if it's a good guy or bad guy, so you just slash at him just in case, and then it's like, oh, just talk
preemptively.
Like, okay, cool. Yeah, because villains and good guys look exactly the same. Like they not. Like
just like real life.
Yeah. Well,
just like in real life when you're like out on the town, you're just like slashing your sword from your hip that you carry around and you to go to the city.
You never know. I
love the idea of like a wandering Ronin in like LA. Like going to the Jack in the Box.
That's really funny.
He sheaths his sword.
Yeah. No, but
that's like the amoeba.
It's cool though, because it's like, yeah, every character, like when you go to villains, it's like, and there'll be a lot of like beaten warriors or characters that are like
downtrodden.
Yeah, like, and they're all like everyone's exploring or lost or something, and it's. So I think that's really cool just to like...
It's annoying to say, but that very is what Dark Souls got really well done with its characters of...
Yeah, which is why I'm excited for Dark Souls once that comes out eventually, maybe.
Because Dark Souls it exists in a world... I think most... I don't know how... I guess I don't know you kind of say that, but the Souls games like Demon Souls from Dark 1 to 3 is, hey, this world's fucked.
Yeah.
There's choices that you can do to make things a little less bad. But this world is already like it's already hell.
I think we talked about that too last week. Where just like games or like ideas of games where it's just like you start and the world is bad. Like everyone is bad, and you're just trying to survive in this world.
But what does that mean for you?
Yeah,
for this character in this time.
And so in Hollow Knight, it's very that kind of thing is very
like
fascinating.
are the little bug boy you are since the beginning of the game? Are you just someone who lives in this world, or are you from outside of it?
I don't.
Or is that not even known yet to you?
Not even known yet to me.
Okay,
Actually,
that's interesting to me. That makes me even more interested.
Yeah,
you don't even know where you really.
Yeah, you just kind of start, and then you have. I don't remember actually.
Since you're all bugs, what is your sword?
It is a nail.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Actually, why do the bugs wear the clothes? Is it just for style?
Yeah, just for style.
Because don't you have like a little cape?
Yeah,
like a cute little cape. That's really cool. That's a really nice attention. Like, why would you have a sword? You could have a sword, but no, we'll make it a needle because you're bugs. Of course, it'd be a needle.
So I was talking.
That's cool.
I was talking with Andres about this and the area. So a little bit of spoilers, not really. I mean, if you don't want to know anything about this game, then skip ahead. But this is an area in the game. There's the soul,
like a hub.
Oh, what's it called? I need to pick up my sweat because I just saw it and I forgot. I already forgot what it was called. Here we go. This is the Sound of Hollow Knight. City of Tears is the area. Soul Sanctum. So once I got to the City of Tears in the Soul Sanctum. All right, yeah. The City of Tears in the Soul Sanctum. This is probably my favorite area in the game so far. So as soon as so the way you enter different areas, so early in the game you meet the map maker, and he pretty much tells you, "Hey, I'll be exploring as you explore."
I've heard most discussion I heard in this game is about the map maker. How do you like that mechanic?
Oh, I like it a lot.
I've heard some people that's the reason they can't play this game.
Yeah, I didn't at first. It was really hard because I still wasn't used to the combat, and you didn't have a lot of movement at the
game
beginning.
is pretty hard.
It was it's still hard. But and I'll get into like gameplay a little bit later because it reminds me a lot of Mega Man actually. But it was really hard at first, which is again thing that turned me off early on. But I like it now that I understand the mechanics a little bit more and I feel more comfortable exploring. Because at first it was like I would be scared to explore because it's like when you die, you respawn back at there are benches kind of scattered around and you have to sit on them to fill up your health and save. That's your save points, the only way to save in the game, and also your checkpoints. And there's not a lot of them. They're kind of hard to find sometimes. Well, not hard, but like there's just simply a scarce amount of them. And so when you die, and if you're really far away from one, it's very frustrating to go back because all the enemies respawn.
Man, fucking Souls games really did change gaming forever.
Yeah,
that's a literal mechanic from it too.
Yeah,
you have sparse checkpoints, only place you can level up. But if you die or if you
lose all your money,
but yeah, which is your currency / level up or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you die, but if you sit on another one, it respawns enemies again.
Yep.
That's such a simple idea. It fits in a lot of different types.
So
of
the
games.
map maker,
cool.
The map maker mechanic is as soon as you enter a new area, because like I said, this game is split up into different areas.
It's like zones, right?
Yeah, different zones. And they move between each other really, really well.
Cool.
As soon as you enter a new zone, and you start out with you have no map for this area. Like if you open your map, it says you do not have a map for this area. And the map maker will explore around the world with you, and you have to find him. And when you find him, you'll hear him kind of humming and singing along, so you know you're close to him.
Oh, it's like an audio cue to go find him?
And also you'll see like papers around, so you kind of follow. There's
visual and audio cues.
There's visual and audio cues, but he is kind of hard to find.
Is it because like he's a small character? Oh, okay.
It's simply that. It's the areas are really big, and so it takes a while to find him. But when you do, you can buy a map from him of the area, which costs about like 75 points or something. It's not a lot. Like by the time you find him, it's going to be rare for you not to have enough money to get it.
Unless you just managed to find nothing.
Unless you literally just died and then like you have no money. Like that's the only way that'll happen. It hasn't happened to me yet where I've find him and don't have enough money to buy a map. And so you buy a map of the area, and then you simply have a map of the area, and the way that works is as soon as you explore more of the area, because the way it works, it's not like you can't instantly see everything. But
when you buy the map, it's just kind of you have a layout.
You have a layout of everything that you've seen of that area as of that point, and then to update your map, you have to go sit down at a bench, and then you write down
the area around it
that you've explored. So it still requires you to explore blind.
It doesn't give you it for free.
Yeah, it doesn't give it, but at least you can kind of see where you are visually in the relative area of things. And so if you die, you can still kind of get to
where you think you died.
Yeah. And because when you die, it shows a little icon on the map of where you died, and then you have to fight your ghost.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's very easy. It takes 2 hits to kill.
I'd assume that would get harder, like late game or something.
Maybe, I don't know. It's still
because I'm assuming if you're fighting your ghost, it's gonna have the abilities that you have.
No, not at all. He just kind of floats there. It's actually sometimes I
They-
wish
it would not be that easy if it wasn't gonna get tougher later.
so sometimes okay, so here's what gets tough about it is sometimes I wish it was harder when it's just a blank area, but what's really hard is when you die at a boss and then the ghost you have to worry about your ghost and the boss.
You have to split your
and so
brain
the first
up.
thing you do is quick attack to go kill and then move on to the boss. Like that I like.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, the map maker mechanic's interesting. Like I said, everything about this game is about exploration, and so the more you explore, the more your map
rewarded.
updates. Yeah, and you can
But
see
not just in upgrades, more just that you aren't as scared to go around.
Well, yeah,
anymore.
when you're not as, but no, with the upgrade too is like you start finding, like this game is very, very much does not hold your hand at all. It doesn't tell you, hey, eventually you can upgrade to this. You have no idea
what you can potentially get better
yeah,
at.
you don't know. You
Cool.
legitimately do not know.
Yeah,
like
'cause
I didn't.
When people talk about this game, they don't even say like what upgrades you get.
I remember when I saw like an area where it was like this giant wall that I couldn't jump over, and I was like, oh, so eventually maybe I'll get a double jump.
But you don't know how,
yeah,
or when, or
and
why.
then again, little spoiler here. I'm not that far in the game, so like, if you don't want to be spoiled for things that are 10 hours in the game, like whatever. This game is long. It takes like 40 hours to beat. Like it's very long.
Without the DLC stuff in it.
Yeah, it's a long game. But like I found out that like no, it's not a double jump. It's a wall jump, like Mega Man X, which I like.
More games need wall jumps, 2D or 3D.
Yes.
More wall jumps in games.
Yeah, as soon as I got that, I was like, oh, this is good. I died a lot.
Although it doesn't look as dumb as the X games do, where you're rubbing your knees on the walls to jump.
No, yeah.
Like I think there's a stage in X3 where it's like the most of the stage is just you doing a wall jump gauntlet, and it looks so dumb. It's just 5 minutes of you just rubbing your knees on the walls and shooting at robots. It looks so dumb because it was the SNES era.
Yeah, I want to talk about. Okay, I'll get to the City of Tears and the Soul Sanctum thing in a second, but I want to talk about like the why this game feels like Mega Man. The way this game.
Okay, Mega Man or Mega Man X?
More, you know what? Closer to Mega Man X.
Because like it's faster paced, right?
Yeah.
Because
And
those are different styles of speed
and I mean
and options.
and
Because
it's
X has the options like crazy.
and it's obviously not the same thing of like the same at all.
Does he
type
feel
of
like
game.
zero?
They're
Does he feel
very
like zero to you?
Huh?
Does he feel like zero to
No,
you with the
this
sword?
game is very its own thing. It feels like a good mixture of a lot of good mechanics from a lot of games.
Mhm.
Like that wall jump thing feels like a more refined slide mechanic of Mega Man X, and the dash mechanic reminds me of the thing from Mega Man 2, but just a little bit more refined. Or Mega Man X 2, I mean, and just
Like different
more,
different physics on it.
yeah, just everything's I can feel the Mega Man X influences in this, like movement wise.
So guess what? X was a fucking great game.
Yeah, exactly. All in yeah. But what's really cool about this game is there's like a lot of bosses.
I've heard that. Like it's insane with the amount of bosses.
So there's some bosses that like there's like people say like I have 100 hours in this game and I haven't found all the bosses yet. Like
yeah, I've
there's
heard that too. Like I haven't found this boss, and it was like in the first area. I just never found it.
yeah, well because you can't yet until you remember it's a Metroidvania. So
Yeah,
like, the more
you're meant to
upgrade-
go back.
Yeah, you're meant to go back. And I remember I did this earlier I did this today where I finally was able to I got like some ability and I remembered like, oh, I remember this thing from the beginning of what happens if I just go back to the beginning of the map and just jump up and just keep going up? And I found a whole nother area. And the map maker even was like, oh yeah, this is an area of they even told me, it's like, yeah, this area, there's not really much here, but like I'll give you the map, but it's just if you want to fill out your map. There's not really much here. And then I found a key. It said like king key or something. So I was like, oh, I wonder what this key's gonna be for. So
And that means there has to be like multiple of those in every single big area.
oh, probably. There's
Jesus.
yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
But the boss thing is really cool. So the bosses are hard. They remind me, like I said, a lot of Mega Man, like in the sense of just like very much pattern recognition type fights.
They're not unfair.
No, not at all.
They're just reflexes and learning patterns.
Yeah, and exactly. And it's very satisfying to learn those the patterns in this game, like for the bosses. And there's a lot of mini bosses. There's a lot of bosses where you think it's a boss, and then you realize, oh, there's now 3 of them on the map. That wasn't a boss at all.
Oh, it just trains you to get good at the big enemy.
Yeah, and that happens a lot in this game.
I love that shit.
Where it's like, oh, cool, boss, fight.
Where boss becomes enemy. I love that shit.
Yeah, and it's like just not a boss at all. That was just a simple enemy. And
I was
it's
really
like,
happy they did that in Doom, the new Doom.
The what?
They do that new Doom where like you fight when you first get the BFG in Doom.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you fight like 4 of those in Endgame. You
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that shit in games. Where it's like, oh no, the boss that you fought that gave you a tough time, it's just an enemy now.
Yep.
It's still pretty hard, but you just have to deal with it.
Yep.
I love that shit.
So the Soul Sanctum thing. So all of that mixes into the Soul Sanctum because it's probably my favorite area in the game.
All in one big moment.
So far. So as you enter the Soul Sanctum, or as you enter the City of Tears, there's this like long huge open area of platforms where you have to like, because you have dash at this point, and so you can dash through the platforms, and it's kind of a hard platform, but not too hard. And then as you go to, further in, you start getting enemies that are flying and throwing spears at you and have swords and stuff, and you have to fight them. They fly, and you have to deal with them while you're platforming. So that was fun. And then as you go through the area, you start seeing these enemies. You fight one of those bosses that I thought was a legit boss, but it was just simply
just a big enemy.
Just an enemy.
Yeah.
And it was he floats, teleports, and throws this like orange goo at you. And he's really hard, and he takes like a lot of hits, like 7 or 8 hits, which is hard in this game to get because he's teleporting really fast.
And you only have melee swings.
Yeah, you only have melee, or you have like little like fireball things that you can shoot out, but it takes energy, and the energy requires you to heal. So
it's not a guarantee you'll even have it.
Yeah, so that's another fun mechanic of like, should I use my energy for attacks or should I keep it for healing myself? Now, but if you save it for healing yourself, you have to find an area or time where you can sit there, hold A for 3 seconds, and heal.
So you don't get murdered while you're healing.
Yeah, and if you get hit while you're healing, it still drains your energy, but you don't take any healing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's really fun to try to like. You have to debate on how
resource
you want
management. Interesting.
Yeah,
it's an interesting way to do the whole. Do I use super bombs, missiles, or whatever on these enemies, or do I save it for these?
Yes,
that's cool.
It's a very, very interesting way they approach it. So yeah, so finding that enemy was interesting, and then I beat him, and then you go through, and then there's 2 of them on the screen, and then there's 3 of them, and then 4 of them, and you have to deal with 4 of them at once, and it's a goddamn nightmare. And then you enter the Soul Sanctum, and the Soul Sanctum, as soon as you enter in, it's just this amazing organ drops, and it's like the most epic sound because in the game it's pretty atmospheric music, piano music, and
no real melodies to speak of.
No, but then the Soul Sanctum, you go in and you hear an organ for the first time in the game, and you're like,
an instrumental change.
Oh, this is the thing. And so you go through, fight more mini bosses, whatever, and then you find the main boss of the Soul Sanctum, because every area seems to have like a main boss, a named boss, 1 or 2 named bosses. And he was the Soul Master, and you fight the Soul Master, and the Soul Master pretty much is a mixture of all the bosses that you've been fighting up to that point. And so
it's like a remix boss.
And it's like the game was, and you don't realize it until you get there, where the game was training you to fight this boss as you're going through. Doing
every pattern on its own, and then get used to them at random at once.
The flying thing, the throwing the spears, the goo, like the teleporting thing, like every little thing that you've been training to get to that point, this boss can do. And so,
because if you decided to not fight those enemies, well, then you don't know how to fight this boss.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So you either learn before or you learn there.
There's a lot of enemies that you can avoid. There's some that you can't, like those little mini bosses. Sometimes it'll close off an area and you can't.
It doesn't make a thing where it has like the 2 doors and they just shut.
Yeah. That happens a lot. But most of the time you can
explore.
You can dodge enemies if you're good with platforming and good with dashing. Like it's not the hardest thing to do. It's hard, but it's not the hardest thing.
Because you'll just kind of learn it over time. Like, you know what? Another pattern's enough. I don't need to fight.
And I know they do that on purpose because remember, if you die,
you have to go back.
You just get, like, in your head, it's like, I don't care about any of the enemies. I'm just going to my ghost to kill him so I can get my money back.
As long as I get my money back, as long as I closer to a checkpoint, it was worth it.
Yeah, and so.
It's that death run, man. Of like, fuck it. If I get like almost death, as long as I grab my thing, I'm good.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That feeling is always like, if you fuck it up, oh my god, that feeling is so terrible.
And so, but no, once you get to that Soul Master, once I got to that Soul Master thing, that fight was so hard. It was like, and another thing too is bosses you don't see a health bar.
Really, even the named ones don't have health bars.
You don't know how many hits it takes to kill them. But every named boss has like stages where you can tell it's like I've hit him enough, and then they'll stop. Like the Soul Master, like you hit him enough, and then he kind of deflates, and then he stand there for like a free like 2 hits, and then he'll recharge and then go back at you. And so there are moments where you know it's like, okay, this stage of his health is over. Next stage. And so there was like 5 or something stages of this Soul Master, which was a lot. Yeah. It's boss fights are long. They're legitimately like,
and there are a lot of them from what I've heard.
And there's a lot of them. There's like 40, there's like 30 or 40 named bosses in the game.
And that's not even including all the DLC they put in for free.
Yeah, and so on
all versions.
That's not including all the like DLC stuff, all the unnamed bosses, because again, there's a lot of unnamed
secret
strong
bosses.
enemies. Secret bosses, a lot of secret bosses that I'm finding. So I feel like I've said way too much that I should, but but I'm still so early in the game. I know there's so much more in this game to explore that I don't know about.
Sounds like I really finally like the bug joke got you.
It did.
It finally bit you.
It finally did. Like
I've been like that. Like I haven't bought Dead Cells because I know that game is for me. I played it when it was in Steam Greenlight. Like my friend bought it because it was half a game was already finished when it came out in Greenlight. That game was already really good then. I'm like, if I buy it now, I won't stop playing it.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet.
That's a game that I'm afraid to buy because I know I'll love it too much. Because like I'm not a big fan of like roguelike games that much. But that game's combat flow, even when it was early, was like almost already perfect.
How long is that game? I'm gonna look up on
Dead Cells. Like I think like to beat like the main boss. I don't know. It's much longer than it used to be.
I'm going to how long to beat. Yeah. Because I'm curious how long to beat.
I wonder how updated it is because they added a lot of stuff to it when it came out for release.
Oh, not that long at all. All play styles, 15 hours.
That's if you're good at the game. Because that game is fair. Because that game has a mechanic which I like. That game you can two things about it for combat. One, walking in enemies when you touch them don't have hurt boxes. You can walk into enemies.
Oh, weird.
So, but when you get hit, you have no invincibility frames. So you can get ping pong to death.
Got it.
But that also means you can be hyper aggressive and roll through enemies.
Yeah.
All the time and nothing will stop you.
Interesting.
But the game, if you fuck up once, you could probably maybe die if you're just bad.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's like, so if you're good at the game, you can beat it really fast. And the game is kind of meant to be speedrun once you like get all the abilities and all the weapons and everything.
Here on how long, oh, goddamn, I hate this about how long to beat is like if you leave this thing, it like resets back to the
I think
home
how long to
page.
beat's a little hard, a little tricky to
well, that's why I like
to do for games that are like roguelites where they're kind of random based in like your stats and
this is why I like it showed all the different, so main story 12 hours, main plus extra 20 and a half, completionist 30, all styles 14 and a half.
I'd say probably for the average person maybe like 20 hours.
Yeah, that's kind of so
unless you already beat the game before it came out officially, or you're just really good at these kinds of games. I'd say maybe 20.
So not that long actually. I mean long, but not like
that's if you get good runs.
That's a manageable,
and you're good at this game because it's.
Well, I mean, let's assume it takes you forever, like 30 hours.
That's still pretty long.
That's long, yeah, but it's not.
That's like just doing the basic shit.
That is a manageable amount of time.
Because I would assume the game does the thing that like other roguelites do, where it's like, oh no, you beat the base game, but we unlock like 10 other bosses you can go find if you're good at them. Like Isaac does that. Isaac is a game that has too much content in it. Yeah, where I got to a point where I've heard from people who play Isaac that the stuff that they've added over time as like broken things they liked about the game a lot because it's just so much of it.
I still don't see it. That's another game where it's just
the gameplay feels like shit to me. You slide around. You don't control well.
It looks bad. That game.
No, I love the art style. Like I love the grossness of it.
Everything about Isaac. I remember when that game came out. I was like, this game does not look like it's for me at all. And
I love the ugly like gross out style of it. Pixel or hand drawn. I like both of them. Yeah. But I hate how you control because you slide around like a fucking idiot. Because like it's a bullet hell game where you can't control yourself 1-to-1. And that already, I hate it.
No, that doesn't sound fun at all.
Because your bullets, they're projectile based, they're not super fast, which is fine. But if you hold left, because it's WASD if you're on a keyboard, you slide for like a little bit, like for like a half second. And for me, I'm like, I hate it. I have no direct control. I can't say because I'm used to bullet hells where you're like it's almost 1-to-1. Like
what's the Hollow Miami?
Hollow Miami is not a bullet hell, but it's a game where you slide a little bit in that game. Okay. But it's to your favor where you can control like you drift around.
What's a good example of a bullet hell then for you?
Toho.
Okay.
Oh, one that people kind of know, maybe Ikaruga.
Okay, yeah.
Like Ikaruga or what's one? I guess no, I'm not gonna say Undertale. That has like bullet hell things in it, but it's not like a true bullet hell. What's one that got really big? Because I'm thinking of like the big boy ones that people do.
Ikaruga is probably one that people know.
Yeah, because Ikaruga was like on everything, but not everyone played it, but it's like on everything.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. So yeah, that's another thing that real quick, and then we'll move on because we're 40 minutes in this podcast and we haven't talked about anything.
Yeah. And I gotta go in like a little bit.
Yeah. So I got bored of Mega Man. I'm like I've been playing Mega Man X2 and I'm like,
like you realize that like X1 and 2 are like the best ones and you can kind of skip most of them. Yeah. Like after like 4, you can skip them.
I don't know. My thing is that like
because I played 1 through 3, beat them like once or twice, except for like X because I replayed X a lot.
Remember how I've been going through this? I've been playing all
in order, right?
Every single Mega Man. I've gone through. I've got Mega Man 1 through 10. 10 I didn't beat. 9 I gave up on.
Did you give up at Wily Castle too?
Yeah, I gave up on the part that you
at the water.
I got farther than you did.
Did you beat the water place?
Yes.
I got to water like when I was younger, and I was like, man, fuck this.
Yeah,
and
I got farther than you did, but like not much.
Because I fucking hate underwater levels in the original Mega Man games. I hate
10. I don't think I got that far in 10, but
I never touched 10.
I can, but Mega Man 3 I definitely beat.
I love 9's music so
9
much.
I got far enough. 10. So, I've been going so hard into these Mega Man games.
You burned yourself out.
I burned myself out. Yeah. I got to take a break. So,
Just play Mega Man Soccer to bring yourself back in.
Has been my break. Okay, let's talk about your experience with the Disenchantment thing.
Yeah, I forgot that came out until the night. It was like, oh, hey, because I forget Netflix does the thing that games do. It's like, okay, midnight or wherever you are, it's out.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, that came out last night. I woke up in the morning. I was like, okay, I'll go check it out.
Yeah, I've been meaning to.
Because I thought that was supposed to come out like in early... I remember first I heard it was going to come out like late spring, and then I got moved to like early fall. And it's like, no, it's going to come out like late summer.
And then it's
Disenchantment, if people aren't aware, if you haven't been on Netflix, because Netflix always annoys you.
Or if you haven't looked like in LA and like, because in LA,
there's ads for it in LA?
There's ads everywhere in LA.
Yeah, because this is like Netflix, like one of their bigger shows to pick up for a contract.
It's Matt Groening's new show.
Yeah, Matt Groening and some of the Futurama staff.
Yes.
Like David X. Cohen and some of those people, like some of the writers.
The guy, David X. Cohen and Matt Groening, like those two names is like, all right.
Like another producer from, like I think 2 or 3 producers from Futurama are on this. One of them is missing, but I forget his name.
Yeah. But this sounded like right up my alley, but there was something about it, like when I saw the trailers, I was like, this doesn't seem that good.
It's not, okay, Disenchantment is not Simpsons, and it is not Futurama.
It's its own thing?
It is its own thing.
Okay.
And that's why people, when it came out day one of going, Disenchantment, a disappointment, because I think people were looking for something that it is not what it is.
No, see, I'm the opposite. I wanted
different, but I think some people, because they love Futurama so much, because it's like one of the best things ever made.
Yeah.
And it's Matt Groening, like I get it. Mm-hmm. This is not that.
Okay.
So don't go and going, oh, it's like another Futurama, but like in fantasy times. It is not just that.
Okay,
this is much more of a series with a linear story.
Interesting.
There's a storyline.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, which I wasn't fully expecting yet, because there was like a couple episodes where like they kind of like maybe do like a little bit of a goof off thing in the world of it, but it's like for like a character development thing or for lore or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this show is mainly about mainly more about the main two, about Elfo and Bean.
Okay.
But even though it's like the main trio, but it is mainly, it's a somewhat linear story through this really goofy fantasy world. And it's not, there are some people saying some dumb theories about like, hey, this is what the world was like after the world ended in Futurama. Like before the future happened. Yeah. Which I think if they do that, it would be kind of stupid.
I think that'd be good.
Because it's so much more fun. Because this world is like, it's magic. There is no like, no, it is magic. Magic. Okay. Demons exist.
Got it. Okay.
One of the main guys is a demon. He's B's personal demon. Mm-hmm. Voiced by Eric Andre, which is really fun.
That's awesome.
Because he's not Eric Andre, the character on the Eric Andre show. Uh-huh. It is the actor just acting.
Cool.
And I forget he's really good at screaming as an actor. Oh yeah, he's as an angry scream boy and just being a mischievous little asshole because he is as his character as himself. Yeah, he's really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I love his design. I love the little demon design he did for him.
Cool.
But this is a really interesting show where it feels like it's a what if Futurama never like. This was like an idea that they wanted to do when Futurama got canceled the first time. Because remember how Futurama was like during its later like I guess couple seasons and like the movies they were going for just we're doing stories.
Yes.
Like not like the ones where it's like the Fry's dog. We're like no, not one off. We are doing like a storyline. Mm-hmm. Like A to B, we're gonna do a full storyline.
Yeah.
It feels like this is kind of what they've always wanted to try to do.
Oh, okay. What is the humor like? Because that's the thing that
humor is. Are you a fan of sign gags?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, remember The Simpsons where a lot of it was like the joke is like a sign in the background or in the foreground?
Oh, yeah, those are fun.
Where it's like, there's a lot of those. So it's like some of like early Simpsons, like the sign gags.
Cool.
And it's the quick pace of Futurama where it's just snap, snap, snap. Nothing is ever really slow.
Okay.
Whether for jokes or for story, this pace is always moving.
Are there ever like...
From me, there was never any laugh out loud moments because the show isn't trying to be funny all the time.
Okay.
It is a humorous show with there's some really good dark humor that comes out of nowhere that is really funny.
Would you categorize it as comedy first?
No.
Okay. Then there you go.
I describe it as like a fantasy comedy.
Got it. So fantasy, not
there are
comedy,
still jokes in it. Like I'd say like maybe like half of it is like meant to be funny.
Yeah.
Like either like just in terms of tone or just actual jokes that they go for. Mm-hmm. But it's still like a story.
That's a big distinction because I wasn't sure like is it trying to be comedy fantasy or fantasy comedy?
It's not a joke it's not a joke every minute like how Simpsons and Futurama do sometimes.
Okay.
It is mainly kind of just characters just interacting in a funny way.
I don't know if that's necessarily what I wanted, but I still need to check it out.
It changes every episode like has a different balance of like more comedy or not, depending on like what they need to get done in the episode. Like one episode is like, hey, we spent time. We're not going to do like main story. It's just we want to do drugs this episode.
Got it.
And that one event of like them doing it once leads to like a story event later on.
Okay.
And it has a really cool thing where really stupid little gags that become like that are just a one-off joke. you forget about that character and they come back as a story character like 8 episodes later.
I love that stuff.
And it's really funny
that's
because
the kind of stuff I like from It's Always Sunny. Where
Yes,
it's like
it is that.
you think it's not important, and
that
then he comes back.
That
and
one-off
it's
like nothing character is like, no, they're set up either for a part of the story or for another really funny gag.
Yes, I mean the perfect example of this is Cricket.
Yes.
Yeah, like the stuff like that I love. Where it's just like, oh, just a character that you think is just screwed up, and then
if they are named and they don't explicitly die, which that explicitly that word is important. If they explicitly die, they'll probably come back for a gag.
That's fun.
And it's
I like that.
really, really fun.
Cool.
And also, remember if Futurama got dark for like a second and it would just like cut away?
Yes.
They do the thing that I think me and you like, where they do the dark joke and they hang on it and they just go, no, that's just what it's like. Like a little run like a fun world gag in it is that a guy's job is like, oh, he's the plague guy. If you die by the plague, he just picks you up in the morning.
Oh, cool.
And it's just he just carts you away like in a big pit.
It's the Monty Python joke.
Yes, it is like that kind of. It's
cool.
It's that kind of joke of like, yeah, the middle just kind of fucking sucked. Yeah, where everyone just died all the time.
All right, yeah, I like that.
There are lots of deaths.
That I like.
There's lots of deaths in this show. Like disposable nobodies die all the time.
So far, this sounds a lot like it sounds like a mixture of like Monty Python and Futurama.
Yes, it really, and some of Simpsons humor where it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't land, but because everyone kind of talks like that, it works.
Okay.
But it really is something. It's something new.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Like it's something entirely new. And
I've been waiting for like a new because
from what I understand, it's going to be because season 1 ends on a cliffhanger because that's how all Netflix shows end.
Yeah,
if they want to do another season, but I think from the beginning they said they wanted to do like multiple seasons to get a story done.
I mean,
there are twists in the show.
The amount of money that they put into the advertising for this show,
I don't know it got that much.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I watched the trailers and stuff beforehand. I read like an interview or two, but I didn't know like it had like billboard shit.
Yeah, like
it has a good budget,
like a bus stop freaking.
Like it has good
posters.
Backgrounds, and I like the music style they're going for with this.
Yeah, interesting. All right,
and also it's just weird. It has the problem I don't know if I like or hate about Futurama, where they cast one voice actor as multiple characters.
Oh, I like that.
But I think in this show they do a better job of like masking it unless you really know. Like Billy West's like 2 characters, like that are main, and I'm like I can kind of tell, but he's doing one goofy enough. I'm like I can kind of forget about it.
Well, it's Billy West, so you know
he's a god.
He's good. Yeah,
and John DiMaggio as just being the angry king is really fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I know a lot of the voice actors are back.
I didn't know the girl for Bean. I really like her.
I don't know.
The main character for Bean, I love how much of a shit she is.
Okay.
She's not a perfect character at all. She's kind of a shit bag.
Cool.
Because she's a teenager who wants to drink a lot and just not be a royalty. But in a way that isn't like, oh, I don't want to be a girl. It's like, no, I just want to fuck around.
Well, this sounds really
That's
interesting.
all I want to do.
This sounds interesting because I've been talking about this for a while. I am, as much as I liked, like I've been waiting for another like good comedy animated thing because I'm bored of
adult comedies.
I'm bored of nihilism. So Rick and Morty's dead to me.
Please watch Venture Brothers. It is a show about failure that is actually really funny.
Okay.
It is my I will say this every time.
BoJack is very dead to me. Like
I don't know if if it ever got bad. I just quit because I can't do it anymore.
BoJack?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what same thing.
Like I didn't think when I left it wasn't like a bad note. It was like I'm tired of this.
Yeah, same. I'm tired of I'm tired of everything sucks and we're okay.
Because BoJack was real. I really liked it from the get go. Of like it was relatable and it was really interesting. And then it just kind of I was like I'm just kind of upset when I'm done. Like the laughs aren't worth it anymore.
Yes, exactly.
Either I'm upset or I'm angry at the characters and I'm not having a good time.
F is for Family is really good.
That one, I think second season got the comedy a little bit better.
Yeah, F is for Family.
Because one was a little too real.
Yeah.
But that's because I think Bill Burr just thinks that's funny because it kind of is.
Yes.
But 2 has more like
what I liked about the
gags.
What I liked about the depressing stuff in F is for Family is that it didn't feel over the top. It felt real. Like it wasn't trying to be like, look how sad this is. It was, no, things suck sometimes.
From what I remember, it was like the Bill Burr and like the staff, they like, no, we just wrote about our parents basically.
Yep, exactly.
And like, because I forget what they described it as. I don't know if it was them, but other interview where they described 70s as like the lost parents generation, where they're like, yeah, we didn't really want to have kids that badly,
but
let's just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
We're not that good at our job. We'll kind of let you do whatever you want. So it created like a weird situation with some parents where like, yeah, we don't really love you that much, but we don't want you to die. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. I'm not a parent. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that creates the really weird humor of that show. Because I am not a child of the 70s.
Nope.
So it's really funny to watch that stuff. Like, no, this is real to some kids.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But some of those kids are like, holy shit, I really feel bad for you. Like the bully kid in season 2.
Yes.
I feel horrible for that kid.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Because like he gets his in season 1. I'm like, I don't think you deserved all that. Now I know where you come from. I feel kind of bad for you.
Okay, so what was that Netflix thing you want to talk about so badly?
Oh, I decided I've just been watching TV shows on Netflix because I haven't been wanting to play that many games.
Okay.
And I found this show that is really for me. It is a new show. I don't know when it came out. It's like sometime this year.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it just came out this year. All 6 seasons with that high budget, all 1 year. No, it is a show called Dark Tourist.
Dark Tourist. I have no idea what that is.
Where it is all about the host of the show. It is him just going to... The premise of the show is we go to places, well, him as cameraman and like maybe like another guy for translation, where we go to places that are about death and decay and danger.
What?
So like at one of the episodes, they go to Japan and they go to the place where the radiation leak happened.
Oh, cool.
And they're just there walking around in the radiation zone. And just exploring and going around like, yeah, how they like ask God, like, how long will the waste like go away like for a way that is like almost totally livable for everybody? It's like, oh, like 300 years. But then you look at Chernobyl and you look at like, okay, this kind of looks like kind of a wasteland because things fell apart because it was like stone and older architecture. But that city they go to in Japan, it's just a ghost town. Oof. It is just buildings and stuff, but it is just empty. For my like, and then he talks about it, it's like until I walked in and I saw how many like workers were here and how many like nuclear soil they had to like put away, like the topsoil that was like infected with nuclear waste, like how much of they had to put away or just hide with a tarp because they can't throw it away because it's nuclear waste. Like it's a fucking shit show here. Like they don't call it the unlivable zone. He's like, yeah, the guys like, yeah, they told us something stupid. They said they call it the hard to return zone.
Oh, that's
and I'm like,
awesome.
that's fucking dark.
That's awesome.
Because like, yeah, that's a very political way of spinning it. But then you see how much of it is just you cannot fucking live here.
Yeah, it's over. Like it's
because they have a Geiger
our
meter.
Technology is not there yet to efficiently make that better.
Yeah, they have a Geiger meter like on them because they have to carry them for safety, obviously. They said the guy's like, oh, what's the safety range? Like, oh, like 2.0. Like anything above it should be like, this might be like a little too dangerous. And there's a bit where they go like, oh, it's like 40, 45, 50.
Oh,
do you turn the bus around? Yeah, we're turning the bus around. Because they go, man, even like I want to be here for this. Fuck this, I am leaving.
Yeah, fair.
Because holy shit.
That's crazy.
But this is shit that I'm into. It's like, oh, let's just go to places that are like fucked up. Like they go to weird, or they're just not even places that are like dangerous, just like odd spots. Like they go to New Orleans to go like, hey, I want to look for vampires. Let's just go find them.
All right.
Or they go inspect like, hey, let's look at the tourism aspect of like JFK's assassination, that industry that exists. That is super there.
Yeah.
It makes lots of money. And he like talks to different people about it. Like one guy does it like in VR and also takes like on a nighttime tour. Like and then one guy just doesn't stop talking for 7 hours to you in person. And he meets some very interesting people. Like the vampires are very interesting because some of them do vampire stuff differently than others in the same city. But also they meet a guy that I would love to actually get the temporary surgery done, where he talks about it in the interview. He says, yeah, it called to me in a dream and I do this now. He had his job. He called himself a fangsmith, which is the most amazing title for a job ever.
I can't believe these are real people.
Because he just makes fake fangs for people.
Yeah.
And I would do that in a heartbeat. I would do that right now. Because that's fucking awesome. Because from what I see, they're not like permanent. Although I think you can get them permanently done. But just, oh, what's your job? I'm a fangsmith. And that's a real job he does. And it does well because people go to New Orleans for vampire shit. For voodoo and vampire shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is an amazing person. I would have never known that existed until I saw this show.
That is definitely a market. That's so weird. That's interesting.
And then he goes to like, oh, let's look into the tourism place of, Pablo Escobar. One of those infamous criminals in the entire fucking planet who murdered hundreds of people that he didn't like because they were in his business.
Yep.
But like I don't know about this. One of his bodyguards that's still alive is like a hitman, has a YouTube channel.
What does he do?
He just he acts and just shows off his guns and talks about his time as a hitman. Like he murdered that guy, killed hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's just talk with you. Like they interviewed him. He's like, oh yeah, he's here like filming for his YouTube channel. I guess he has one really popular. And he talks about it, like, yeah, I murdered my own girlfriend because Pablo told me to, because he's going to betray him. That's what I do. And then there's a bit where they show him like acting, like he's acting for like a short film for himself, like as a hitman.
Oh my God.
Killing another hitman. And he's like, yeah, the way he does this, he's probably done this a lot just for himself.
Yeah.
And he seems to be like having too good of a time for it, where someone says he's reformed.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I've served my time. I don't kill people no more. But he loves that people know that he killed lots of people.
That's so weird.
It's fucking bizarre.
That's super bizarre.
Because people, and he bunch of people there that are like, yeah, we're from New York. Like, it's crazy. Like, he runs into people from like New York. Like, yeah, what do you guys hear? Like, how do you guys feel about Pablo Escobar? It's like, man, I don't know about that guy. He seems like he wasn't the best. And they're like trying not to like, no, you guys like him. Like, but why though? He's a monster, but he was like kind of cool. Like, because I don't know if people know about this. A lot of the drug cartel and drug leaders in Mexico and South America some of them are viewed as like Robin Hoods.
Oh yeah, no, like Che Guevara
and lots of people
who are like terrible people
because they've done good for some of the people. Like they interview guys like, yeah,
well, they did terrible things, but like ended up making
the community. Some of them like gave them money back, or like their deaths somehow funded. Like it's a really weird. History is really weird for it.
It's a hard moral line to walk because it's like
they brought in all this money to these people that were dying on the streets every day.
Yep.
But they murdered also lots of those people to do it.
Yeah. And so it's like, I don't know how I feel.
a lot of songs in Mexico are written about those people.
Yeah.
As folk heroes. Or as dangerous lawmen. It's very okay. Have you ever heard like old 60s and 70s country music was about outlaws and criminals? Mm-hmm. And singers were pretending to be those people?
Yep.
The songs are about those people that really do that every day.
Yes.
So you're talking about Breaking Bad, it's relevant.
Oh yeah, no,
the song that they wrote.
Yes.
My mom lost her shit because I was like, hey mom, isn't it the one who wrote the song about this guy? And I was like, oh yeah, that's them. It's the same people who wrote the song about these kingpins.
That's awesome.
Because their job is we just write songs about drug dealers.
Yeah, because I've been rewatching. I'm on season 3.
That's a real part of the culture that I grew up in. I'm like, yeah, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
They're seen as folk heroes. Like that's why Scarface is like a hero to some people that I know growing up.
Yeah.
Because he came from nothing and it's like, well, the world is yours. That whole aspect of like, no, fuck it. No matter what I do, the world is mine. I'll take whatever I want.
I have a lot of family. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, and our culture is not like that as much.
Romanticizing like criminals like that.
Yeah, but they exist.
Like the idea of like I came from shit, so why can't I take whatever I want if I did it my way?
Yeah, like the obsession with people like Scarface and Che Guevara and stuff like that is definitely still there in my culture.
Yeah, and it's not
as much as like
it's
Mexican
still relatively
culture.
because it's still relatively. It's not old. That's from the 70s.
No, yeah,
that's the cocaine craze of the 70s from that drug trades in 60s and 70s. Mm-hmm. It's not that long ago.
No.
And cocaine's only coming back stronger.
Yes.
And just seeing that there's like an industry, just a tour about that shit is so surreal.
That's so crazy.
It's only about 10 episodes. But they're about like...
What is it called again?
Dark Tourist.
Dark Tourist.
They're like 45 minutes long. Mm-hmm. I wish that... Because the way he breaks them, it's like 3 segments per location. I kind of wish they were only about one of them. Because there's some that are so interesting, I wanted to stick around more. But it's pretty cool. It's such a me thing. Like, it was like, oh, let's look at tours about Jeffrey Dahmer. Because those exist.
Yeah.
And I found out it's mostly women.
I believe it.
But he's a gay serial killer.
Yeah.
But is what serial killers like the bad boy thing, I kind of get in a weird fucked up way.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I get
it. But he was a prominently known gay man. Mm-hmm. But most of the tours for chicks. Because they want to fix him. Because that whole thing exists.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Serial killer shit is so fascinating to me. I love that shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the people who get obsessed with it is like I'm more interested in those people who like fall in love with serial killers.
I love the
we'll do one big one because then I gotta bounce.
Okay, so yeah, it's up to you if you want to keep going. No, I was gonna say I like the obsession with Elliot Rodger.
Oh, then yeah, he's the most recent one.
That I not like the most recent, but like the most recent in that's like
it's gotten like a following or like interest around him. Yeah.
Most recent one. I follow a lot of I'm in a lot of shitpost bad people groups of just like you're the shitty people.
Do you mean deplorables?
Yeah, deplorables. But like actually, like the word actually fits them because they're just legitimately bad people.
Would you call them scumbags?
I would call them scumbag. I'm in a lot of those groups. So I can take that however you want. But the jokes about freaking Elliot Rodger are all over the place, and the obsession with that boy. All right, what are you the Microsoft thing or?
Oh, I'm talking about 2 different things that kind of blew me away. We got 2 weird announcements. There was a bunch of indie shit and Nintendo stuff, but there's so many trailers that you might as well just go look at them if you want to go just check out new indie games.
Yeah,
because there was way more
today
than usual. We had a weird shocking announcement yesterday morning, and I woke up and I thought I was dreaming because it was so weird. Mm-hmm. Streets of Rage 4 got announced.
Yeah, I saw that,
and it's going to be hand drawn. And I went, holy shit! What? Thank you, but how?
I don't know anything about Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage was the other big fight, like beat 'em up series next to Final Fight. Mm-hmm. It was the Final Fight equivalent for the Genesis.
Okay.
And I liked it more mainly because I like the music kicks ass, even though some of it arguably did steal from some house melodies from the 90s. Mm-hmm. I just like the Final Fight, like its whole look and its music more overall. And Final Fight is kind of dead in terms of its main series, but it lives on through Street Fighter because a lot of characters are on Street Fighter as characters anyway. So they kind of still exist, so that's good for them. Streets of Rage been dead forever, and they killed the fan game a couple years ago. Like they're making it like a fan game remake of the first game, and they just killed it. Dang. They said no, stop it.
Who owns Streets of Rage?
Sega.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But this was like before Sega was like going on its PR thing of trying to make all their fans like them.
Yeah, before their redemption arc.
But it said like, hey, Sonic Mania, Yakuza coming to the States. we're giving you all the Miku games like almost like month of it comes out in Japan. Please like us. We want you to like us. And then I do. I like Sega now.
Yeah.
They make the games that I like actually come out in the States.
Yes.
So yippee-ki-yay. But then alongside that, another Japanese developer, Capcom, went, hey, we wanted people to like us too. Do you remember Onimusha? And I went, yeah, I do. What the fuck happened to Onimusha? And they said, oh, we're going to be moving Onimusha 1 to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch January 15th. Like it's an HD
I don't know what that is.
It was a trilogy of games / like an RTS spinoff and like a fucking fighting game.
Okay.
Where they were like Japanese like action games.
Okay.
They were like they had the Devil May Cry thing where they were like kind of like RE1 mods in a way.
Oh, okay.
But then became their own thing as time went on.
Cool.
And they were really, really cool games, but they've been dead forever. But they were like, back in the day, they were like a big Capcom staple series. They kind of just went away. And it's been rumored like they want to make like a trilogy of HD games. So I think this might be a test for it. But it's going to be like a $20 like re-release where it's going to be like in HD, like they redo textures, I think, but not like a full like remake. But this is probably like the Capcom thing of like, if you want it to exist, go buy it. Because they did that shit with I'll never forgive them for this because they did it with fucking Darkstalkers.
Oh yeah,
they made an HD trilogy of it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sell like they wanted. Said, I guess you guys don't want Darkstalkers.
Yep.
And as someone who likes Darkstalkers and kind of hates that people only know Darkstalkers for Lilith and Felicia and Morrigan, I'm like, oh, I guess I don't get the thing I like because people only like the titty ladies. Because you know Morrigan.
Yeah.
You know Lilith as like her sister. And people know Felicia because she was in Marvel's Capcom. She's a cat lady who doesn't wear no clothes.
Okay, then yes.
Yeah, everyone knows those three.
Yeah.
They're the most popular three. But Darkstalkers is like the horror fighting game.
Yes.
And I love all those characters in it. But nobody gives a shit about any of them because they're not waifus. And it's all Darkstalkers now is known as those three characters. And I'm like, but I want the games to come back though.
Yeah, you're like a real fan.
I am like a real fan. I'm a fan of the Vampire Savior series.
Most people aren't real fans. That's the problem.
That's fine. But I'm like, God damn it.
I don't know if you know that's how games work. They're not going to make it if no one's going to buy it.
I don't blame them. It didn't sell as well as they wanted. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then they do dumb shit like Mega Man where it's like it didn't even get made and they said no.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But I hope this is like the remake situation where they ported remake in HD and it sold like fucking crazy. Oh, you guys like old RE, huh? Meaning what you said to us for 5 years, you actually like it. You bought it. Again, maybe we'll make maybe we'll remake RE2.
So do you think
and
that,
they did.
So do you think that Capcom is during their redemption arc then?
They've been trying since like Street Fighter V's like abysmal launch.
Okay.
And
do you think they're winning
RE6 is like weird, mismatched mess of a game.
And all the Mega Man stuff.
And the Mega Man stuff of like not existing.
Yeah.
For a long time. They've been trying. RE7 was a good return to form.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 is getting
the RE2 announcement.
Street Fighter 5 is now like worth playing as a full-fledged game after Arcade Edition.
Yeah. And then the thing that you were talking about
Onimusha, maybe it'll come back, and then Mega Man having lots of game to play again. Even if some of them are just ports,
literally too many games.
Them just bringing it back to modern consoles is a really cool touch.
I think I'm just gonna skip straight to
all the ones that are not 1 through 3.
I don't even think I already played.
I never played 4, but like maybe
I played 4 though. So like I think I'm just gonna go to 5 and
just
like,
see how bad it is
and see how bad 5, 6, and 7, and 8 are.
I've heard the story for like 5, 6, and 7 are like hilariously bad.
Yeah, I've heard the same. I hear 8's good. I hear 8's X8 is really good. I hear
what?
Like, I hear people
really
at least okay. If you're gonna take all the Mega Man X games, it's probably the 5th best.
Yeah.
Which is like X 1 through 4 are better.
But like 1, 2, and 3 are so high. It's like such a huge power gap.
So it's hard to like. Yeah, it's definitely not up there with them. Anyways, anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to get the fuck out of here?
I should probably get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye.